Now we're cooking. It's the coach, and this is the NFL.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
That was second down, throw for Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
That's it, baby.
Those are the numbers from Rudolph from last week's game. 6 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown.
And most teams mark down big plays as ones that gain 10 yards or more. He certainly has big playability, and we just saw it on display.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Let's go.
Looking to throw on second down. Conley, and incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
On third down, Conley. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter able to track him down for a loss of 13, and it'll bring up fourth down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
On fourth down, Conley. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. They go for it on fourth down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate Big plays for an offense.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Come on, let's go.
Looking to throw. Conley. This will be caught at about the 6. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
I certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. Now, the offense not going anywhere. They're staying out there. They've converted once already on this drive. Here they go again on 4th down. Back to throw. Conley. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, the conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away, but no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. That'll be taken in the end zone. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times. And
pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Looking to throw. Conley. He's got his man on the crossing route. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Back to throw. Conley. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And they just ran the fly route there, didn't they?
You broke it down perfectly. He ends up catching that one and taking it all the way into the end zone.
Well, thanks. It was pretty simple to break down, though. I mean, that's just a guy going, running on the go route, making a play.
Speed,
kills.
Speed, speed. And what does it do?
It kills.
There you go.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. But they have to be...
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This will be fielded at the 17. Oh, what a 360. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Let's go! Fire 38! Fire 38!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And that was a young pup, the rookie, being intercepted by a veteran DB.
And I loved our quick conversation in pregame with him on the field where he said, hey, look, I love playing these young quarterbacks. They don't know a whole lot yet, so I can use my mind to put me in a position to make a play.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Second down, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A 1st down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
A give. This is Cook. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Cousins to throw it. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Navarro Bowman not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Throwing on first down. Conley looking downfield for Jeff. It's caught inside the 25. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Here we go.
From the gun, Conley. And this is going to be incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. The false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on second down. Cook following the penalty. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Glover Quinn there on the stop.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Over the middle, complete. That's Fernandez. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. A first down throw for Cousins. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Cousins now on second down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
To throw on second down. Conley, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. The Lions on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 15. Looking to throw. Conley. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. So we have reached halftime here at a good one. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the
Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Wilson snags it left side, and they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Caught by Wilson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down. Back to throw. Conley, and finding the tight end Wilson. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up first and goal now.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. Now the ball comes loose, and this belongs to the Vikings. And at this stage in the game, sure, you wanted the touchdown. You're already in the red zone, but, boy, you squandered a chance to at least get the field goal there, so no points out of this, and we stay tied.
Very disappointing.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now Cook. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Cousins now. Incomplete. Right side to tight end Rudolph. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. On 2nd down, Cousins again. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
On 1st down, Conley. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage
Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4.
Let's go.
Looking to throw on second down. Conley. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
On first and 10, Conley. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
Here we go. What? None.
Throwing again on second and 10. Conley. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Throwing on third and long. Conley. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way down to the 29. A big play on third down for the Lions. 45 yards.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Now a handoff. Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds and keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. He'll get it up the middle. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Andrew Sendejo. That's an experienced DB picking off a rookie, and you know sometimes those experienced DBs, they love going against the young pups, don't they?
And I go back to the offseason, had a quick conversation with him about, hey, when you play younger quarterbacks, what's it like for you? And he says it's like being a boxer. I give him a lot of different angles, a lot of different looks, and a lot of times I just bait the young guy.
And there he baited him right into the interception. Accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 50, the 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. A big play there, taking it goal line to... Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages, as a field goal now can only tie it. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He's back to throw. To the right and complete to Galladay. And mark him down all the way inside the Minnesota 10. It's a big play there for the Lions. 61 yards. Well, I guess at the very least they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
They'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the fourth. Second and goal from the 1. They'll try and sneak it here. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. It's their quarterback in the final minute. And the Lions have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation. But to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this time.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Back to throw. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. Well, you feel the excitement build on those fourth down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on fourth down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on fourth down. And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Hey, here we go!
And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Lions, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.